Hi, my name is Anjiline, and welcome to today's video in which I will be talking about my 3 practices with purpose. The first being be a lifelong learner. The second is treat everyone equally. And third is health and wellness first. So with that being said, let's dive right in. The first is be a lifelong learner. Being a lifelong learner, in my opinion, moves us in the direction of success, both personally and professionally. So when we're moving in the direction of success, it involves learning a new language, a new skill, and that just helps us, advance forward, right? So for me, an example would be I recently traveled to Montreal, and where the first preferred language is French. Now, I know French and it was from my school days, but with language, if you don't practice, it's use it or lose it. So this was my opportunity to really polish my French, and boy, did that come in handy when I was there. I was able to converse very fluently with the locals, and then it also helped with my navigation as well. So strongly recommend, if you can learn a new language, or if you know a language and you know the basics, I strongly emphasize and press on the fact that you should move forward and learn the language, because back at the time it really didn't connect the dots, but today when I was recently traveling to Montreal, it really did connect the dots. So emphasize on that. The other is learning a new skill. When we're learning a new skill or a language, the connections in our brains fire up and new connections are made. And when new connections are made, there's a term in neuroscience that is used, and it's called neuroplasticity. And when neuroplasticity happens, it really improves and helps you master the new skill. And it's really wonderful, because when the neurons connect, they are actually making your brain even stronger in many different ways. So I emphasize on that. Also, I just want to say that for me personally, I also carve out every year 20 to 40% of my time learning a new language, learning a new skill. I read a lot of books. I try to take up a sport, and if I'm interested in a sport and I want to go and watch a sport, then I learn the sport. I learn the rules of the sport, and so on and so forth. So add to that, go to conferences as well. Make new connections with people is very, very important. So just sitting down on an office or at home and putting your head down really doesn't help. When you network with people, you get outside information. You know what's happening in your surrounding and in the world, and it really, when you bring that back into your own nest, you're able to advance forward at a greater speed, right? So with that being said, yes, make new connections, go to conferences. It helps with, in your disciplinary, in your field as well. The other is, I just want to take a moment and say that I'm very privileged, in the fact that as a public policy professional, I get to interact with key policymakers and global leaders, where we're able to have thought-provoking dialogues, and for in the name of making sound policies and public policy for positive change is what I call it. So that is also really, really important, and good communication also comes into play. Exchange of information is also key. The second one I would like to talk about is treat everyone equally. It's so important. Do not be so fixated on hierarchy, conscientiousness. And what I mean by that is, if you're working in an environment or a corporation, and if you're a leader and you meet somebody who's at a at a lower hierarchy than you are, a custodian or a janitor or anybody, step back and take the moment to greet them, and so it speaks volumes about a person. When I was with Amtrak last year, I met everybody. I worked at the corporate security office, and as a high-ranking professional, as a senior policy manager, I never let the hierarchy conscientious get to me. If I was on the railroad platforms, if I was meeting anybody at the help desk, I would always take the initiative to greet the person and let them know that we are all, part of this. We're a family, and that we are greeting our family members. So treat everyone equally, and inclusion is in everything that I do. It is at the heart of everything I do. So that is also very, very important. And lastly, I want to talk about health and wellness first. In today's busy environment, we're constantly bombarded by, families and professionals and colleagues and projects, and so you know where I'm going with this. So step back and take care of yourself, take care of your health and wellness. As if you're on a flight, they always say wear your mask first before you help others. So this is the analogy I'm going to use here when talking about health and wellness first. So very, very important that we take care of ourselves. It gives us the drive, the energy to be able to, commit more strongly to our passions and everything that we put our head, heart, and hands into it. It requires a certain level of energy, but if you're able to take care of yourself, both physically and mentally, I emphasize strongly on both. So do take the time to, reflect. I personally meditate, journal. I take long walks where I leave my phone at home, and when I'm out in the nature, I'm walking and I'm enjoying, the environment, and this helps me decompress and center back with myself. And so when I come back, I have a clarity in my thought process, and I'm able to, perform better. So again, practice with purpose. And lastly, very quickly, I just also want to press on, my faith. I pray quite a bit, and I press on my faith, and I never forget to give gratitude to the universe as a whole. I'm blessed with wonderful parents, and I'm a parent myself. And every role that I played as a daughter, as a sister, as a friend, as a mother, and as a professional, I like to give my all to it. It's so important. And what I mean by that is put my head, heart, and hands into it. So with that being said, yes, so again, just want to quickly go back and just revisit the fact that yes, it's important to be a lifelong learner, treat everybody equally, inclusion is key, and then health and wellness as first. So remain healthy and fit both physically and mentally, and then keep learning a new skill. I can't emphasize, how important it is that when you're learning a new language or a new skill, you take care of yourself, you treat everybody equally, you feel more part of your your ecosystem, both from a micro and a macro level. So do that and keep connecting the dots. And I hope this video was helpful for you. And if you liked it, then it would mean the world to me that if you could give it a thumbs up, and so I can make better videos, and more importantly, be able to connect with you at a deeper level, and so we can all benefit and learn from each other and grow both personally and professionally. So with that being said, thank you for watching this video. Until I see you again, bye for now.